All right, so here we're going to review some of the problems that you're going to have on your quiz, okay? So we're still doing elimination. There's probably only one or two of these, but we're going to need the practice to be able to set up the equation, okay? So let's look at number one. We're talking about Ming's school. She's selling tickets to a fall musical. On their first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 senior citizen tickets and 8 child tickets for a total of $60. The school took in $51 on the second day by selling 3 senior citizen tickets and 5 child tickets. So let's go back and highlight or circle what's important. We sold 3 senior tickets, right? We sold 8 child tickets, and how much money did we make? $60. Right? On the second day, how much money did they make? And they did that by selling how many seniors?
3.
Still 3. And how many child tickets?
5.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write up those equations then, right? How many senior?
3.
So we're going to say 3 senior plus how many child? And how much money did they make?
60.
On the second day, they made how much money? So that's going to go back here on the total by selling how many senior?
3.
And how many child? Okay, so remember, what are those 2 things that I need for elimination method to work? You wrote them down, yes? Perfect. I have same digit here, but not opposite sign. I don't have same digit here. So I can make one an opposite sign by doing what? Yes, I'm going to multiply it by -1. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the bottom one. That's going to give me a small number here and a positive answer. So -1, right? I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to move over my top one. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite it. What am I rewriting over here then? Perfect. Now I'm going to do my multiplication. -1 times 3s is going to give me what? -3s. -1 times 5c is going to give me what? -5c. And -1 times 51 is going to give me what? -51. Okay. What am I eliminating then? My s's. So now I have 8 minus 5 gives me what? 3c, right? And 60 minus 51 gives me what? 9. Okay, so to undo this, I need to divide both sides by what number? By 3. So what does C equal? C is equal to 3. So the cost of a child ticket is $3. But I don't know the cost of a senior ticket. So I'm going to pick one. Which one do I want to pick? Bottom one? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 3 in there for the bottom one. So 3s, that doesn't change, plus 5, that doesn't change, but instead of c, I'm going to put a 3 in parentheses because I am substituting that number, and I am also going to multiply 5 times 3, and it equals 51. Okay? So what is 5 times 3? It's 15. Oh, I ran out of room. Okay, so 3s, now it's plus 15 equals 51, right? How do I move this 15?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides, right? That's going to be 0. It's going to, oh, I got to move it over here. 3s, you might want to use a separate sheet of paper for your work on this one, is going to be equal, what is 51 minus 15?
36.
And then how do I undo by 3? What does S equal? right? Okay, so right now I want you to take the next couple minutes and I want you to read 2, 3, and 4, circle what's important, and set up your equations, okay? Go ahead. Really well. Some of you guys really need to focus on doing what's asked, okay? So the only thing I wanted you to do right now was circle the information and then write the equations. I did not want you to solve, right? So we're looking at the senior class high school at high school A and B. Okay, so at high school A, they rented and filled 8 vans and 10 buses with 628 students. At high school B, they rented and filled 4 vans and 10 buses with 564 students, a little bit smaller. And then we're going to write our equations. So 8V plus 10B, and it equals 628 students. What are you chewing, Laura? No, I see gum. Spit it out. You get it. Sorry, I gotta write you up. Second school, right? 4V plus 10B, and it equals 564. Right? That's all I wanted you to do at this point. Then we're going to look at number 3. Here's Pranav and Stephanie. They're selling flower bulbs for a school fundraiser. Okay, Pranav sold 2 bags of windflower bulbs. So we're going to say 2W and 14 crocuses for a total of $286. Stephanie sold 14 bags of windflowers and 14 bags of crocuses for a total of $406. Right? It's pretty simple, right? To pull that information out. How many of you guys understand really how to go through that elimination problem and write up those? Good, because that's super important. That's the first part. So we're going to say 2W plus 14 crocuses ended up with 286, right? Did you guys use something other than W for the windflower bulbs? 2B? That's fine, as long as you use C for the other one, okay? So then Stephanie sold 14 C or B's or W's, whatever you guys used, and 14 crocuses and made $406. Everybody get those 2 equations? It does, because I'm just what it's called. It's called a crocus bulb, and the other one's a windflower bulb, so it's just what I'm calling it. Okay. Now let's look at the 4th one. We have pecan pies and pecan cheesecakes and apple cheesecakes. Huang sold 11 pecan cheesecakes and 12 apple cheesecakes, right? For a total of $257. Kim sold 11 pecan cheesecakes and 5 apple cheesecakes. That sounds kind of gross. Apple cheesecake? I don't know. Anyway, even pecan cheesecake. I don't know. Just give me cheesecake. Let me eat cheesecake. For a total of $152. Sorry, I digress. I like cheesecake. It's yummy. Right? So we're going to write up our equations. How many of you guys wrote 11P plus 12A equals 257 for your first equation? Excellent. Then your second equation was also 11P plus 5A, and it totaled $152. Yes? Great. Now let's look at the equations that we've written. Do I have same digit for any of these equations? Yeah, I do, right? How about my first one? What's my same digit? The 10s. But are they opposite signs?
No.
So I need to pick one, right? Let's pick our smaller one, right? And multiply it by what? -1. How about 3 and 4? Same thing, right? What are we going to multiply 3 by? The top or bottom? Top one, because it's my smaller one, so I can subtract and get a positive answer. And what am I going to multiply by? -1, right? I have same digit. How about number 4? Top or bottom?
Bottom.
And what am I going to multiply it by?
-1, right?
Beautiful. All right. Take the next couple minutes and solve your equations. All right, let's check them out. The top one, for number 3, I'm just moving over. So I have 8v plus 10b equals 628. These I am actually multiplying to change their sign, right? So -1 times 4 is -4v. -1 times 10 is -10b. And then I have -564. I'm eliminating my b's. 8v minus 4v gives me 4v. When I subtract 564 from 628, I get 64. And then I divide both sides by that 4, right? Which is going to give me 16. So v equals 16.
How did you beat 4?
How you get the 8?
I'm sorry, one question at a time. Louder, what?
Well, why did you use 10b instead of 4b?
Because if I multiply -1, then I get my same digit opposite sign. If I multiplied by a -2, I could eliminate my v's,
Oh, okay.
right? But it's easier to just multiply by -1 and change my sign. I could, Lauro. I could absolutely do that and solve for b first, but it doesn't matter. Okay? It's you're going to get the same answer either way. It's just more work the other way around. So now that I know v is 16, right? The cost of there's 16 people in a van. Wow, that's a big van. I'm going to go ahead and substitute my v into one of my equations. Let's do this one. 4 times 16 instead of v plus 10b is equal to 564. 4 times 16 is 64. Plus 10b equals 564. So I'm going to subtract 64. Right? 10b is going to equal 500. When I divide by 10, cross out those. b is equal to 50. So 16 people in a van and 50 people in a bus. Well, you should just be checking your work at this point, not copying what I did. Okay? So let's look at number 3 now. Remember, I just want you guys checking your work. You guys are not copying my work. I want you to check your answer. If your answer is different than mine, then you need to go back and look at what you did wrong. So the answer for 3, we're looking at v is equal to 16 and b equals 50. That was number 2. I'm sorry. The answer for number 3, we're going to work out now. I have a minus 2w, a minus 14c, and a negative 283. I'm just going to bring down my second equation over. I am not doing any multiplying, but that's going to give me my new equation. I'm eliminating my c's. 14 minus 2 gives me 12w. 286 or 406 minus 286 is going to give me 120, right? I'm going to divide by 12, divide by 12. W equals what? 10? 120 divided by 12 is not 10? Okay, and then I'm going to pick one. This one looks easy, right? So I'm going to say 2 times 10 plus 14c equals 286. So this is 20 plus 14c equals 286. Subtract my 20. And I'm going through this quickly because you guys should already know how to solve a problem. So now I have 266. I'm going to divide it by that 14. And it's going to give me W is equal to 10. C is equal to 19. Check your answers. Did you get what I got? If you didn't, you're going to have to go back and do some work. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4, we're going to just slide over my top equation. I'm not doing any multiplying. My second one, I'm going to multiply by a -1, which is going to give me that opposite sign that I'm looking for. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve my problem here. I'm eliminating my p's. 12a minus 5a is going to give me 7a, right? 257 minus 152 is going to give me 124. I'm going to subtract or divide both sides by 7. I'm sorry. Did I do that right? This is 105. I'm sorry. And then divide by 7. I didn't think that was right. So a is going to equal 15. I wrote the wrong number down here. This is 105. It's 105. So then I'm going to take my a equals 15 and substitute it into one of these equations. I'm going to say 11p plus 5 times 15 is equal to 152. Yes, I'm going quick, but you guys should know how to solve an equation now. So 5 times 15 is 75. So 11p plus 75 is equal to 152. Going to subtract 75 from both sides. So 152 minus 75 is going to give me 77. So 11p is equal to 77. When I divide both sides by 11, p is equal to 7. So for number 4, a is equal to 15, p is equal to 7. Make sure you have those answers written down. If you did not get the right answer, if you didn't finish, go home tonight. Know that that's your target. Okay? So we're going to look at the last part of the assignment today right now, and then I'll give you the answers to the last 4 from yesterday's assignment. Okay? So number 5, find the value of 2 numbers if their sum is 17 and their difference is 1. Okay? So we're going to do x plus y is equal to what? If their sum is what? 17. Their difference means I'm subtracting x minus y, and it's going to be what? 1. Okay? So far, so good? So I have same digit, opposite sign, right? I'm eliminating my y's. So now I have 1x plus 1x gives me 2x. I have 17 plus 1 is 18. Dividing by 2, right? What does x equal? 9. So now that I know what x is, I'm going to say 9 minus y equals 1, right? So I'm going to subtract 9 and subtract 9. I could have added it to the top number too, right? Now I have negative y is equal to negative 8. There's a 1 there, so I'm going to divide by a negative 1 so I get a positive answer, right? Those become positive. Y is equal to 8. So my numbers are 9 and 8. Does that work? What's 9 plus 8? 17, right? 9 plus 8. What is 9 minus 8? 1. So it works, right? All right, so I want you guys to work on number 6 right now. Exactly like I just did number 5, you guys do number 6. Okay, ready for number 6? Again, we have the difference of 2 numbers is 3. Okay, so the minus is 3. Their sum, that's their plus, is 25. So we're going to say x minus y is equal to 3. And I just wrote the equations in order. Kevin? No. X plus y, so their sum is 25. Do I have same digit, opposite sign? Remember, give them all their ones. I have same digit, opposite sign, so I can eliminate my y's, right? What's 1x plus 1x? So 2x is going to be equal to 3 plus 25, which is what? 28. I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2. What does x equal? X is equal to 14. Okay, so now I'm going to substitute it into my equation here. X is 14 plus y is equal to 25. I picked the bottom one this time. Doesn't matter which one you pick, guys. That's why I picked a different one. It's whatever works. Your answer is going to be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 14 from both sides, right? That's going to give me y is equal to, what is 25 minus 14? 11. So y is 11. Let me see. If I add 11 and 14, do I get 25? If I subtract 11 from 14, do I get 3? It works. Okay. For numbers 7 and 8, we're looking at the value of two numbers. Okay. And it's exactly the same thing. Okay. So 7 and 8 are exactly like number 5 and 6. Go ahead and do 7 and 8. I'll give you the answers shortly. And then I'll give you the answers to the rest of the worksheet from yesterday. Go ahead. Answers to 7 and 8. Check your answers. If they're not the same, write the correct answers. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that. And then I'm going to show you the answers. You're writing the answers only. Now here's the answers to the rest of the worksheet for yesterday's assignment. Check your answers. If your answers aren't the same, write down the answers that I have. Tonight you go back and you check to see what you did wrong. You're studying for your test tomorrow. You have a test tomorrow. You have 2 review sheets that you are going to use to answer these questions. You may use the review sheets and any notes you have for your quiz tomorrow. I strongly recommend you have the right answers written down. Tomorrow's Friday. Not fast enough if you're sick.